Hi, everybody, and welcome to Elden Dogs, your favorite podcast about Elden Ring and ancient dragons and that pot boy we love so much.
Yep.
I told you. I said I wasn't going to cry this early in the episode. Yep. I am Sir Gideon Ofnir. I'm the badass. I'm the smartest. I'm the most beloved. I am the coolest, wisest. You better get at least one great rune or you're getting out of my round table hold kind of guy. Yes. Otherwise known as Brad sometimes.
I'm Alexander, and I booked a ticket. I've been feeling really tired, and life kind of, you get into a rut sometimes. You just need a vacation. So I booked tickets to go to Farum Azula, and surely nothing bad will happen to me.
It sounds like a lovely trip.
It should be good this time of year. I hear it's very dragony and windy.
You know, there's something about Farum Azula that no one talks about, and that's how the fuck they get there.
Yeah, for me, Spirit Airlines, because I'm not checking a bag.
I guess that's a good one. Yeah, you magic your ass up there somehow. And today is, as you mentioned, we're going up to Farum Azula. Farum Azula is a big flying magical dragon capital.
With crumbling infrastructure.
Yes.
To say the least.
They could do with a remodel. I will say that. Before we go up there, though, we were at the Forge of the Giants a while ago with our friend, Mr. Turtle Pope himself, Cole Ross.
Yes.
And we have to burn our beloved maiden up there. Finger reader Enya, describing what we're about to do, she says, the burning of the Erd tree is the first cardinal sin. And you say you seek the power of the rune of death as well. The forbidden shadow plucked from the Golden Order upon its creation. Unleashing the rune now would be unthinkable. Special kindling is required to reignite the flame. For the flame to burn the Erd tree, a sacrifice is needed of one who envisions the flame, and you can lead you to the rune of death. So, you know, your beloved traveling companion.
Special kindling.
Special kindling.
That's a very interesting way to refer to her.
I call her friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. I call her, she gave me a horse, and
Yeah.
I'm really fond of Torrent.
Homie. I call her homie. Like, hey, it's my homie.
And she does assist you in fighting. I think it's with Margit. Like, you can actually get her to fight as a summon, which
Margit
is kind of
or
cool.
Margot?
Margot.
Okay.
Yes. I got by getting that wrong. How could I get these names wrong on this show? It's so easy.
They don't sound alike or spelled similar at all.
No, they're almost, they're very different.
Yeah.
So you go up to the forge. The giants, they worship their own weird god. That's the
Andre the Giant.
Dude could drink 50 beers in one fight.
He could hold 15 golf balls in one hand, allegedly.
And a giant eyeball in his tummy. It's crazy. I was doing my due diligence and just getting drunk and reading about Elden Ring. That's called due diligence in this household.
That's called good, clean family fun.
I was on Reddit and someone's like, never realized the giant isn't wearing like a loincloth. His beard, his face beard, his second face beard is that beard is his underwear.
That's just utility.
Yeah.
That's planning ahead.
When your beard and your pubes become one, the giant is multitasking, and
That's impressive.
But he also has to trim his mustache hairs above his navel, and that is odd.
Have you ever worn a kilt?
Yeah, not enough.
Yes, kilts are great, and I imagine the breeze he must get on a hot day has got to rival even a kilt.
It's cool too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool up there, but he's by the forge.
Yeah.
The forge of the giants, they have just a giant forge that is the only thing that can burn the Erd tree because of rules, because of the world. And the only thing that can get it lit is a maiden, or there's another way, but if you rest at the forge, Melina will come forward, and she says, I have long observed the lands between. The world is in dire need of repair and death. Let's fucking send it up, bro. And I'm like, you got it, bitch.
Yep. You got it, bitch.
Yeah. It's the kind of relationship we have.
Yeah.
She
Hop on in there.
Yeah. I just fucking sparted her right in there. This is Elden. And then she says, "Let me rest my hand upon you, but for a moment." And so Melina stands up. She looks at the Erd tree, and the flames come out of the forge to her, and she starts on fire. And when she lights up, the tree lights up. And she turns back to you all like still burning, and she says, "Thank you for guiding me here. The one who walks alongside flame shall one day meet the road of destined death." That last sentence is also the description of the blade of calling, which is Marika's weapon. Her body goes limp. The maiden is sacrificed, dying for the sins of everyone to save the world. Wink, wink. Jesus much?
He actually winked.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of Christian imagery, especially when you get to the end of the game and she's straight up just fucking crucified on the remains of the Elden Ring. It's kind of cool. There is also the other way where you can do the Flame of Frenzy, where it just wants to burn fucking everything and take things back to like primordial chaos, which I think is pretty cool too.
It's super metal.
It's super metal. And at this point, if you are flamed or frenzied up, she has already left you. You can also, you can flame of frenzied it up, and then she'll leave you, and then you light yourself on fire, and then you can get purified from it. So you can save Melina's life by temporarily siding with the flame of frenzy if you want.
Doesn't she threaten to kill you if you do that though?
She is not happy.
Yeah, you really put a bummer on her day.
Yeah, she goes full evil at the end. It's a special cutscene at the ending, which is pretty cool. But that brings us to our lore-ish topic of the episode, and something that we haven't talked about much yet because I didn't want to start reading about dragons until I was ready. And you know what makes me ready to read about dragons?
What's that, Brad?
Dragon's milk. Now, this is a bourbon barrel-aged stout. This is, of course, from New Holland Brewing Company. Now, this is got gray old milk, the big old ancient dragon. I snuck up on her and squeezed a little bit out. And actually, I'm not sure about it might have been Grand Siax. This might be male milk.
It's okay. Wait, no. That would not make it milk.
Well, George R.R. Martin, I'm a big fan of his. And there is a strong theory that all the dragons in The Song of Ice and Fire are gender fluid. They can change genders as need be, which is capable in some species.
I mean, for dragons, it just like, who's going to be the asshole out there that's like, that don't make sense? Like, they're dragons.
Well, and also that's a thing that is established in the animal kingdom. Certain animals can be switched genders as
A lot of
necessary.
sea creatures can.
Yeah.
A bunch of sea creatures can. Starfish, maybe, I think is one. Seahorses have something going on where who takes care of the parents and who has birth and stuff. I don't know if they switch, but I remember there was something when I learned it. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I forgot it.
Yeah. All I know is they're not horses.
No, they're not.
No.
Have you tried to ride? You can't ride a seahorse. You crush it.
No. It's too small.
I truthfully...
It's too small. It's like Leonard. Like, you can't just gravity magic it and ride a seahorse.
I truthfully don't know how big a seahorse is.
It's pretty small, I think. But I also don't know shit about them.
Yeah, like small like the size of my hand or like the size of my finger.
Are they fish? No.
Dude, I don't know, man.
Please write in. We have lots of questions on this. Okay, so the dragons. The ancient dragons, which are different than the modern dragons, they ruled in the prehistoric era before the Erd tree. They had their own outer god. This outer god could be related to the Greater Will. It might be the same god. It might not be. But this is where it gets a little confusing because they've said before that Godfrey was the first Elden Lord. But they've also said that Placidusax was the Elden Lord before the Erd tree. So I think it's maybe just like this is the first president of the United States, and there was like president of England, different terms. But I think it just might be like a term of the overall kind of leader.
I think we also get biased narration or storytelling depending on who we're learning stuff from in this game throughout the entire game. It could be Because who tells you that it's Godfrey? Is that something you read, or is that told? I can't remember.
A lot.
Yeah.
There's a. He's referred to as First Elden Lord quite a bit.
Yeah, no, trying to piece together the timeline or how this all makes sense is primarily your job, because I'm not good at it, even while I'm playing the game.
I love it so much.
So
I am. It's amazing how much stuff I can keep up in my old noodle here as Sir Gideon Ofnir, and I don't know anything about the real world. I'm an electrician. I just go to work sometimes like I don't know what I'm doing. Man, Bach was a seamster. His mother, though, I wanted to. I was like, whoa. Yes, they had their own outer god and Dragon Lord Placidusax. That's how I'm going to say it.
that sounds great.
It sounds good.
Yeah, Placidusax.
It was. They were originally going to do Nutsacks, but
That's just, they didn't understand, like, we're going to make fun of that.
in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, they actually have testicles, and that made me happy.
Yeah, testicles.
Placidusax was the Elden Lord, the first Elden Lord in these times, a powerful ancient dragon with 5 heads.
Damn.
What determines how many heads you get? It's because he was Elden Lord. He probably was specifically chosen, but do you just grow heads?
What if he grafted them?
Godric is associated with grafting. That's
Yeah.
a good theory.
He could have grafted them.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about that theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you say you're adding limbs or adding heads, I'm going to assume you're grafting in this world.
Yeah, the problem is he's also losing heads. He's down to 2. He originally had 5 also. I mean, I've watched the videos on the Siamese twins. Do the heads argue? Is this like the 3 hyenas? There's like the smart one, Whoopi Goldberg, and the dumb one.
See,
I know Cheech married Whoopi Goldberg and the dumb one.
I've seen Stuck on You with Matt Damon and Greg Kinnear, so I am qualified to talk about this. They actually work independently of each other. So head 1 could dislike head 3, but be good friends with head 4 and head 2.
This sounds tough.
Yes. It would be good for, like, if they did like the real world Farum Azula, because then you wouldn't need 5 guests. You just have the one dude and his heads would be talking.
Yeah, so if Placidusax had to sign the contract, would they have to relinquish control of the right claw for each head to sign? Because
Yeah, I think so.
did you know in Stuck on You in the opening, there's a hidden ghost?
No.
There's a shot in one of the opening montage where it's like under a bed, super brief, and there's like a thing down under the bed.
Are you serious?
Look it up. It's
I'll have
fucking
to look
weird.
that up. I love that movie.
The seat of the Dragon Lord is Farum Azula. I've heard it pronounced many ways. That's how I say it as well.
I've been saying Farum Azula for so long now, you can't correct me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's fantasy shit. Ancient dragons, like gray bodies resembling stone, they have 4 legs and 4 wings inlaid with gold, distinguishing them from their lesser descendants. Ancient dragons are immortal. They breathe fire like their lesser counterparts, the modern dragons, but can also wield red lightning. It's like ancient humans used to be badass and make fire at night and hunt things, and now we use
Uber
Amazon
Eats.
Prime
Yeah.
and Uber Eats. They used to have fucking gold wings, humans, and now we're just like, I don't know how to change my tire.
Yeah, I panic. I'm just constantly panicking.
I'm calling Ancient Dragon Dad.
Yeah.
So I was going to go over some of the ancient dragons. We've seen it a lot, actually. Grand Sax attacked the royal capital. His corpse is the one that's still across Lane Dell.
Yeah.
After the attack, the tree sentinels had an epiphany. The only way to protect the Erd Tree was to become dragons themselves. That's some weird cultish thinking.
You know, that's like what Kevin Durant did. He couldn't beat the Golden State Warriors, so he's like, I must become a warrior.
Now, that's a sports
the
reference
championship.
that I don't get.
Yeah, well, somebody's going to get it. If you can't beat them, join them, is what I'm saying.
Thanks for getting it. Dread Fortisax, we fought him down there. Defeated by Godwin in the battle of the Dragon War. And then they became friends. It led to the founding of the Dragon Cult in the capital. When Godwin became the Death Prince, Fortisax fought long and hard against the death within its companion. The victory was never achieved. He became the undead dragon we fought in the dream. There's Lanciax. Now she's cool. Sister of Fortisax. She was able to take human form to commune with the knights as a priestess of the ancient dragon cult. Ancient dragons can be human.
That's wild. Like, they can shapeshift?
She can be human. And she went and got a little action.
Then you have dragon god hybrids.
It'd be like Donkey and the Dragon. Maybe. I'm a dragon, Shrek. Of all the knights, Vike the Dragon Spear was the one Lensiax loved the most. So I guess she might have loved a few knights. We don't know if that's just like, I care about you, but she really loved Vike.
Vike's the guy on the cover, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool. I like that little bit of lore. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and this episode we're also going to run into Vike got to the top to the forge, and then also another character we'll run into later also got there. The Draconian race at the start of the game could be the offspring of ancient dragons in human forms interbred with regular humans. They have like black skin, like dark, I guess charcoal looking skin is how I would describe it. A list of modern dragons, there's a whole bunch. Borealis, the Freezing Fog, Decaying Enzykes, Flying Dragon Akil and Grail, Glintstone Dragon Adula, Smaragd, Elder Dragon Grail, the mother of all modern dragons. She's the big old girl who doesn't fight and is there just to be a rune farm for the start of the game.
Thank you for doing your service.
Thank you for your service. I'm going to bleed the fuck out of you. So, the dragons were living happily in Farum Azula. And at one point, the outer god flees. We don't know if why they flee. Placidusax, though, resolved to await the return of the god at his seat situated at the storm beyond time. Okay. Lots to unpack. So the ruin's greatsword that we get earlier says it came from a ruin that crumbled when struck by a meteorite, hinting that an Estelle might be involved. My headcanon. There's no for sure answer. Some people are way out there with it. Farum Azula, to me, where it's located on the map, like you can see it. So it's definitely in the real world. It's not you're entering a dream state. You're not like in the mind. Some people are trying to say it might be like another dimension. And I think there's maybe like pocket time spaces in there. But you can see it. And when you're in Farum Azula, you can look back and see stuff on the main map.
I think there is some Doctor Who timey-wimey bullshit going on. Yep. But it is definitely a place that exists relative to where we've been.
And it's definitely in a state of decay. Whereas I think at one point it was probably, fairly opulent. And my belief, which is just for me, is that it's where Radahn's battlefield was, that giant empty spot, is where Farum Azula originally was located.
Oh, that'd be cool.
There is architecture on the ground there, which looks like bridges, which led somewhere, which is the same architecture as Farum Azula, as well as the chapel for the beast clergymen is the same building type.
Don't they have a painting that you can find on the battlefield by one of the pillars that kind of looks the same in Farum Azula?
Yep.
Yeah.
So to me, it really matches up, and that's super open down there, and it seems like Farum Azula would just slot right in.
Yeah, I'd never thought about that.
To me, what convinces me is just like all those pillars look like they puzzle pieces, they kind of go together. And the dragons are all situated. There's like a bunch of them right at the end of that landmass there because they probably can't make the big flight up.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, that's my belief there, but... at some point, Placidusax loses 3 of their heads.
I forgot my wallet today, so I know how that goes.
So you feel pretty naked.
Yeah. He's like, oh, fuck, where'd I put that head?
But you make the most of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to take 2 heads.
I'm going to buy gas and change on my way home.
Oh, no. You can borrow a 5. Due to Placidusax's absence, though, because he just like goes... I don't know how the best thing is like, all right, God's gone, so I'm going to go to my bedroom, and it's timeless, so I'll be fine, but I'm done. He just checks out. And the ancient dragons then become the lesser modern dragons we see today. Grail becomes, like I said, the mother of all modern dragons, it appears. And Farum Azula then becomes a mausoleum enshrining Placidusax, which was guarded by beastmen. All of the ancient dragon smithing stones we find are scales of Placidusax. And, The Dragon War, we covered a lot of that. Grand Sex attacked it. Godwin the Golden led the forces of Leyndell, defeated Fortisax. They became homies. And I think one of the reasons it might float is because it was hit by a meteorite of Estelle. It was struck by a meteorite, and we saw the meteorite strike just west of Caelid, and all those rocks are floating.
Yeah.
So
That
I
tracks.
think,
Yeah.
I think it makes sense.
That's not a jump or a leap. I mean, we literally see floating rocks after the Radon fight, so yeah.
Yeah.
I buy it.
The first time we can see Farum Azula is from one of the 4 belfries. It can shoot you over there in that portal, and you're stuck up like on a distance, and you can see all of Farum Azula proper. Yeah, it's in a giant tornado. It's like
Super dope.
Wizard of Oz. It's like Twister. Just dragons flying around everywhere. It's beyond time, at least some parts of it. But we Sparta kick Melina into a forge.
Because she on her wishes.
Yeah, I mean euthanasia.
Yeah, I think the kick was unnecessary, but I mean, in the end, it's what she wanted.
Tarnished, I will always.
See ya.
And then you just fly. All of a sudden, you just take off like Superman to Farum Azula. Woo!
Kobe.
Yeah, and then you're just up there. And this is one of those situations where you can't just teleport out of there until you get to your first sight of grace. This place, what is your like gauge on difficulty for Farum Azula?
I didn't really have a problem with anything outside of the bosses because I use a shield and a sword, and so those knights and the beastmen, they kind of bounce off me. But I didn't think it was terribly hard. I've also gotten really good at this game compared to when I first started.
Yeah.
I have come like miles. I have 10 characters, so I've played a bunch of different play styles, and I have perfected exactly how I like to play.
You got it.
I've got it down now.
If you can beat Millennia, you can beat anything.
Yeah,
Although the Elden Beast will test you.
really.
Yeah. It tested me. My first time it was a walk in the park, but this last playthrough was very frustrating.
Well, I've stopped playing so much my spell sword and caught up a lot with my non-magic build.
Okay.
Just sword and shield. I'm using Bloodhound's Fang.
Yeah.
And that thing is fucking dope. And then I just have a giant shield and I block and
Just ripping.
yeah. That took a huge learning curve. So I wonder if I'll be able to beat the Elden Beast with that, or if I'll have to go back and cheese it with my spell sword.
No, just find the right Spirit Ash. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be fun. The first thing you'll stumble upon here in Farum Azula is the beastmen. Now, the beastmen are just little wolfy boys. They're like dogmen, and
I don't like it when they have their dogs with them.
it seems it's like Pluto and Goofy.
Yeah.
I'm like, where do we draw the line here between your son and your pet?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I feel weird about
Oh,
that.
shit. Goofy is a dog.
Goofy is a dog, and
didn't
he
think
has a
about that.
dog, and he also has a son.
That's right. The Extreme Goofy movie.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
Lovely film. That's going to be Goofy Dogs is our next series we're going to do.
I've watched that movie so many fucking times.
We're going to watch every piece of Goofy media ever. Gosh.
Wait, does that include a bunch of Kingdom Hearts shit?
We have to play the entire series again.
Fuck.
The Beastmen, their intelligence was granted to their kind, possibly by the Outer God or Dragon Lord. They kind of worship Placidusax. They worship the dragons. They're tending the mausoleum. The Beastmen you will essentially only find here, outside of one who kind of fell down and is one of the first bosses in the game.
I think that's why they attack you right away, is because they're not going to attack you. They just want to ask you where their buddy is, because they took a bender to the Weeping Peninsula. They haven't seen him since.
Yeah.
He didn't get in the Uber or whatever.
Have you seen Terry?
We're very worried.
We haven't heard from him in a long time.
He looks like us, has a big Game of Thrones sword.
Dog face,
Red hair.
6.5 feet tall, answers to Terry.
Does a real killer spinny attack.
He will probably attack you on sight, though, so be careful. Yeah, the Beastmen, we don't know a ton about them, but we can infer something. So there are other Beastmen as well. There is Blythe, who is a beastman. There's Malekith. So they can also be different things. They can be like, handsome, wolfish,
Yeah.
waifu, or husband foo,
I don't know what the reverse for waifu.
furries.
Furries.
He's a furry.
Yeah.
No, Malekith would make a bad furry, whereas Blythe, yeah, okay, I get it.
Blythe is a furry. That was hard to say.
You'll experience the full furry.
Yeah.
Blythe is a furry, and Malekith is also a beastman. And you also see later on Horalu, who is Godfrey, because why do we need to just have one name when we can have two? But attached to his back is the beast regent Sarash, who is like the king of the beasts. So there's also lions you can graft onto your back as well.
See, now that's what I'm talking about. If I'm going to graft, I'm going to do some crazy shit.
Yeah.
And I'd put a lion head on my back.
I am going to put a snake for a tail, but so the head is like attacking.
That'd be
things.
nuts. Yeah.
As long as it's knows to listen. I guess if you start grafting other heads, then you're getting to a weird situation.
Yeah.
So the beastmen are always kind of paired as like the brother, the carer, the guardian. They are almost dictated by their lord, their greater power to look after who's in charge and make sure they stay the way. Blythe, Malekith. You can get a beastman's jar shield, and I love the description. It says, the beastmen have always fired earthenware jars for the express purpose of making shields. They don't make shields. They make jars just to have shields. Okay.
They're taking the long way.
Yeah. I don't know how to make a shield. I can make a jar.
And then you break it.
What do you do with the bottom half? I don't know.
It's a tiny shield.
It's you keep your toys in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're in the crumbling beast grave. We're experiencing some of these beastmen. Some of them have ability to do magic. Some are, berserkers.
I don't like the ones that hide behind the shit and throw those like boomerang fucking projectiles at you that curve. I don't like those guys.
They always get you.
They always get me.
They always get you. Yeah, they're formidable enough. If you can keep your distance and know where they are, they're not too bad.
Yeah, you take out the dogs if they got dogs first. I always leave the projectile guy for last.
Yeah, I do meteors from a distance, so my current playthrough, I don't get close to him at all.
I just really hope I don't run into one of them and one of the fucking armored guys, banished knights.
The banished knights are pretty mean too.
They're way harder than the beastmen by far.
Yeah.
But I like the beastmen more. I like fighting the beastmen more because A, it's easier. B, I just like the character design of the beastmen. I think they look gnarly as fuck.
Yeah.
The banished knights kind of look a little too similar to those big sentinels that like you find in Stormvale. Like it wasn't fresh enough for me.
And you find the banished knights elsewhere. We don't know what the banished knights are necessarily up to. We run into an ancient dragon pretty quick. There's 2 greater ancient dragons and 3 lesser variations in Farum Azula. There are just a lot of dragon fights here. Not bosses, just one. The first one's a boss, but the other one isn't. And then there's a lot of lesser ones. You receive an ancient dragon prayer book. You get ancient dragon's lightning spear, because they have the power of lightning and lightning strike. And there's a great grave glovewort. That's a tough thing to say.
Yeah. Great grave glow. Yeah, no.
Great grave glovewort. You're going to find a lot of endgame material here. A lot of great grave glovewort and somber ancient dragon smithing stones. Makes sense that a lot of this is there because they're from dragons, but the great grave glovewort, since times of old, large gloveworts were used to comfort heroic spirits. Given in tribute to those who died the most glorious of deaths, you give these to your spirits. It strengthens them up to 10. And there's only 6 of these in the game. So,
oh, really?
Yes. So make sure to collect all of these before you New Game Plus it. Then there's this really weird section where you can go not towards the main path. You can find a bunch of worm faces. Did you go down to the worm face area?
No.
No. Good. It sucks.
Wormface guys?
You know those big dudes that just vomit death
Oh,
blight?
yeah,
They have
yeah.
like the spaghetti faces.
They're scary as fuck.
I hate them. Well, and there's also ultra giant worm face boss. So there's tons of little ones, and they'll all fuck you up pretty quick. But then there's one you have to go all the way out to this like little pond area, which is way off the beaten path, and it's a monster. I have never gone close. I will use arrows from a distance the whole time. Use all my arrows. I use all my good spells. It is tough, and it only drops 6,800 runes, and it pisses me off to no end.
What is the point of it then?
They treat it like a boss, and it does nothing for me. It's you get the Glovewort Picker's Bell Bearing, which is good. That's good if you want to do a new game plus. You start off with the ability to get all of those Gloveworts from the merchant early on, which is cool. But
So that's the real prize for beating him then.
you don't even have to beat him. I don't think you just go. I think it's just underneath him or past him.
Damn.
Yeah. Also, Deathblight has gotten up here, and you'd say, how does Godwin's Deathblight reach up to a flying fortress in the sky? And it's because Malakath has been eating Deathroot. Just fucking slow down there, Gronk. Everyone knows who you are, dude.
I'll find you more.
Tom Brady loves you, Gronk.
Yeah.
That's a sports reference to Gronkowski.
You did really good there. Yeah.
Thank
That
you.
was great.
I nailed it. Right in, everybody. Say Brad did a good job. You can go the other direction, though, to the Tempest-facing balcony. Another great grape glovewort. Somber Stone Miner's Bell Bearing will be here. We mentioned the Banished Knights. These knights are different, these Banished Knights, in that they use Dragon Communion incantations, which means they've been eating the hearts of dragons. So they might be here hunting dragons to get more dragon hearts to attain more spells. That's the best theory I could come up with of what these Banished Knights are doing, since they are using Dragon Communion. I don't know. You have to squint your eyes and stretch things sometimes.
Yeah. I don't like these guys for their Ash of War, that fucking spirally attack that they have. The spinny wind one.
The spinny wind one.
Yeah, that one fucked me up.
They're tough. If you take them for granted, they don't need to hit you many times to take you out.
And when I'm playing, because I played like 90 hours of this game on the PlayStation 4 just as a spell sword. So
On the 4?
Yeah, because I was
You
playing.
started Elden Ring on 4?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I started it on the PS4, and I played like 90 hours on there with my spell sword. And my character transferred over to the PlayStation 5. But I spent a long portion of this game not getting close to enemies and staying back and just relying on my mimic tier and my fucking staff.
Yeah.
And then I switched over to a more in-your-face, like, melee sword and shield build, and I get really bit too big for my britches sometimes. I'll get on a run where I haven't died in like an hour,
Yeah.
and I get way too Wile E. Coyote with it. And these guys made me pay so many times.
I love it when a small enemy cuts you down.
It's humbling, and it also infuriates me to no means.
It just reminds you are playing Elden Ring still.
Like, fuck you.
You're just a little dog.
The fucking mice, man.
They'll
They're
swarm you.
right. They're not even a giant rat.
There's a couple little ones.
3 rats.
3
and
blind mice.
If there's 3 rats and a rune bear in a room, you're fucked.
If there's one rune bear in a room, it's over.
The rune bears are impossible.
Yeah. I don't know what's up with them. They're pretty big.
They're just impossible. I can't beat them.
If you drop down the Tempest-facing balcony, you can find the Spirit Ashes for the Azula beastmen. Right around the corner, though, we're going to find our first set of bosses, the Godskin duo.
Don't like this.
Well, you hate this one, and you hate that one.
What if they were best friends?
What if they were in the same room this time? Are you going to give them different designs? Nope. What is it, like Fatty and Arbuckle?
Yep.
Yeah. We got Skinny Guy and Big Boy.
And they're going to piss you off. I hate Godskin anything. The Godskin Apostle is probably my least favorite thing to fight in the entire game.
I don't mind him too much.
It's his fucking stupid ass fat rolly attack.
I find it charming.
I've never dodged it. It has a fatality rate of 100% when it's playing against me. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
You need to hide behind something.
He maneuvers around it. He is like death in taxes. He is what does Thanos say? I am fucking what's the word?
Inevitable?
Yes, he's inevitable.
Yeah. He's a constant. He is a canon event.
Yes.
It will fuck you up.
And then you get his little lanky friend in there, and he's easier to manage. It's the big guy that gives
the problem
me
is
trouble.
both of them then together.
The only good thing is they have a shared health pool. So I don't have to kill both of them twice.
But if you kill one of them, it comes back.
Yeah, so I ended up playing a game of ping pong where I tried to kill the little guy, the skinny guy, as fast as possible so I could just focus on the big guy. Because I knew I wasn't going to kill him.
Well, and there is a famous trick to this battle. The godskin apostles are one of the few bosses that can be put to sleep.
Did not know that.
So if you have your Saint Trina's sword or your arrows, you can get one to sleep, and the other one, you can just focus on the one then.
How long does it sleep for?
60 seconds.
Jesus Christ, that would have been great.
It's pretty cool, huh?
That would have been so good.
It's also, single shared health bars are weird to me. It makes sense maybe for certain boss fights, like the double minor Erdtree spirits. But this guy, you're just two different dudes. Why are you sharing a health bar? Can I just choose to share a health bar with you?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I'm glad because I'd probably still be stuck on this fight if they had separate health bars.
Oh, yeah, that'd be double the health.
Yeah, that would be impossible.
Wouldn't be any fun.
I mean, for the fact that I'm a pussy in this fight, I am thankful it's there. But it really should have two because they are both formidable in their own right. And I fought two gargoyles way back. Where was that? Was that underground? Yeah, before you take the coffin ride.
Yeah. If there was ever an Elden Ring amusement park, there would be a coffin roller coaster.
Oh, for sure.
Or be a log chute.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
It'd just be perfect. I just wrote it.
Yeah, and then you get a photo with you and your hands up and all the splashing.
And then there'd be people walking around dressed as the godskin apostles, and everyone would hate it.
Yeah, because it would be like the T-Rex costumes, where it looks like the guy's riding a T-Rex, but it's just inflated and he's standing inside of it.
I love it.
It would be like that, but it'd be like a bodysuit.
I wish there was an amusement park.
But no, they should have two separate health bars because I have beaten two gargoyles at once, and it is possible. And those guys were hard.
I know with the godskin, not the godskin, with the gargoyles, it always just feels like you're halfway through the first one. It's like someone jumps in from the top rope out of nowhere. They fly in real hard. It feels like a wrestling match.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And this one is just a bullshit match. There is an unused move where if you put one to sleep, there's a special move the other one can do to wake it up, but it never worked. There's a glitch. It just prevented it from ever happening. Mm-hmm. And I think that they didn't patch it in because they're like, fine, it's probably hard enough for them as it is. You can summon an NPC, Knight Bernahl, who has been a member of the Lands Between since outside of Stormvale Castle. He was out there selling us our first Ashes of War, and then he was in Volcano Manor. Mm-hmm. He had us do some work for him. We're going to see him again. Yes, if you defeat the Godskin duo, you get the Black Flame Tornado, spin the armament overhead, and plunge it in the ground to summon a raging vortex of black flames, usable on pole arms and twin blades, and a smithing stone miner's bell bearing. And yes, the Black Flame could once slay gods back in the day, but when Malekith sealed Destined death, the true power of the Black Flame was lost. The Godskins worked with the Gloam-Eyed Queen. Essentially, they're probably pissed off that Destined death took their power away. That's probably why they're up here. If you return to Hugh at this point, there's unique dialogue for him. If you return to him after the Godskins and before Malekith, where he says, "Use my masterpiece to slay a god. That is all I have lived for, and my promise to Queen America, but do me a favor and look after the girl. I can't hold on much longer." And then he says, "Allow me to call you this just once before it ends, my lord, for that is what you are."
Damn.
Because, he loses his mind once death is released. So that's his... If you have a chance after defeating the Godskins, go say hi to Hugh. He has his, farewell speech he gives you.
I can do that as soon as I get home today.
Because, yes, on your current guy, you haven't beaten
No.
Malekith.
No.
Had a lot of time, Tyler. What are you playing? Baldur's Gate 3?
No, I wasn't playing anything. I got really sick.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
When you're sick enough to where you can't play video games, that's bad.
Yeah, well,
You had the hangover blight. No.
I did a couple nights towards the end because once I started to slowly feel better, I'm like, I'm sending it tonight.
I saw an Instagram story, our Facebook story, of you and Devin and Justin. Y'all look fucked up at like a cabin somewhere.
Oh, that was Caitlin's going away party.
But you also looked sick. You also looked like you were still a little under the weather, but like powering through it.
I couldn't miss the party. It was her going away party, and I couldn't miss it. Was it me drunk as fuck commentating a ping pong match?
I think you had your shirt off.
Yeah, I did.
You had the drunk blight there.
I was commentating the first ever barn door open
Oh,
because we were in a barn playing ping pong.
well, that makes sense.
No one got the barn door open joke. I
don't
think
get
we
it.
were all too drunk. You know, like your flies down. And it's ping pong in a barn, so the barn door open.
Well, did you have everybody have their zippers down? Because
No, I think I put my zipper down when I said it, but nobody got it, and we were all very
And they all
drunk.
just like going to whip it out. Whoa, Tyler, no. Whoa there, buddy.
Yeah, no, and then my dad's birthday, so I've been out of town and busy. But
Yeah, after you get through this here, you arrive at the Dragon Temple lift, and you're going to start running into the beastmen who live in death. Not only are there beastmen, there is beastmen that just come back from the dead, and you have to kill them twice now. This can be a tricky area.
I have a sword. I forget which one it is.
That perma kills them.
Yeah, because I have a holy incantation or a holy ash of war on it. So I just boom, boom, knock that thing out, and then I don't have to do that thing where you fight them while they're down.
Because otherwise, these fuckers are hanging from the trees. They start mobbing you. You'll start drawing them over, and you'll get overtaken. And then you kill one, and you start turning around, and you forget to double kill it. You just don't have time to double kill it. It can get a little hairy.
Yeah.
At this point, there's also another dragon tucked around back there. I just don't have time. No, thank you. Pass, Mr. Dragon. And next to the dragon, though, if you run as fast as you can forward, and then just run away, you'll get the golden lightning incantation from a teardrop scarab. Greatly increases lightning damage negation for caster and nearby allies. It was used by the Knights of the Erdtree during the assault by the great ancient dragon Grandsax and the bitter war of the ancient dragons that followed. Iron Fist, why did you choose to be Iron Fist Alexander for this podcast?
Well, if you remember some of the OG episodes, that was Bach.
I know,
He didn't suit my personality.
we love Bach. Bach is a good person.
I like Bach because he's
Good
just...
demi-human anyways.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a good guy. And then I accidentally made him a vegetable.
He needs to have more belief in himself.
He doesn't really have a backbone.
I don't like to use the word pathetic.
He's pathetic.
Yeah, he gets turned into a bush.
Yeah.
Like he starts off as a bush, and I was thinking, it's like, Tyler, you went for the bush.
He was the first character I met, so I was like, I like this guy. And
The bush with mommy issues.
he didn't try to kill me.
And Bach is a good guy. We like Bach.
But Iron Fist Alexander, the first time you meet him,
Yeah.
he's stuck in the mud.
Oh yeah, he is.
And you have to beat him to get him out of it.
You have
And
to
he's
give him a
very-
good whack.
Yes.
On his behind.
He just felt good-natured. He felt pretty. He seemed like a cool guy.
Yeah.
And he wasn't trying to kill me. Also, that's the bar is very low for what makes a good person in Elden Ring. But when I learned what's going on in his guts and how heavy metal that is,
Yeah.
I was like, yo, that's...
His motives are.
He just wants to be a great-ass warrior.
He wants to be a great warrior. He wants to prove himself. You can even catch him like spying on his own village later on, and he said, "Oh, I wouldn't go down there. I can't come back until I've succeeded in my mission." He's ashamed that he's not stronger. He's relatable. He's funny,
Yes.
and he's one of your only like true friends in the game.
Yeah. So after I realized who I was dealing with when I met him, I was like, I'm going to switch my name to Alexander Iron Fist.
Iron Fist Alexander.
Yes.
I think that it might be both ways, but I think Iron Fist Alexander.
I've used them interchangeably.
Me too, but yeah.
I think Iron Fist makes a good surname. So Alexander Iron Fist, in my mind, is how it is.
Alexander the Iron Fist.
Yes. Mr. Iron Fist.
Or you can say belly full of 50 fists.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm eating everything that's going to make me stronger.
I also like characters that just have a very singular objective. Like in Elden Ring, it feels like a lot of people are like doing the Muhammad Ali thing where they're like making you look at the left hand so they hit you with the right.
My mother sent me to recruit people for the Volcano Manor, but I'm a lizard woman and maybe born of Datakar and I don't know. Ah!
Precisely.
Whoa. Hi, I'm tarnished.
I just ran from a lobster that shot like 400 miles worth of missiles at me.
Can you get my necklace back? Someone stole it.
Bitch, I'm talking about lobsters.
Did you see those fucking lobsters, though?
I'm pretty sure there's giant crabs around here, too. There was a giant scarab thing that was shooting magic skulls at me. We need to talk for a second.
Let's just calm down. Yeah. Not complicated. Alexander is... He's like Goku. There's no character arc.
Yes.
Just badass and cool from day one to day end.
Yeah. And that's the same reason I like Bach, too, at the beginning.
You don't like vegetable Bach is what you're saying?
Vegetable Bach looks at me with those vacant eyes and it haunts my dreams.
I don't have a vegetable Bach because I would never do that to my homie.
Guess who doesn't have a vegetable Bach in their second playthrough?
Yeah. He's a good boy.
He's beautiful.
But yes, Alexander came from Jarburg, a hidden village of living jars. He vowed never to return, claiming that the path of champions must be trod alone. Okay, badass. I support you. Yeah. After fighting Radon, his body suffers damage. He hides. Next, he travels to Mount Gelmir, hoping to temper his body in the sea of fire to make it so it would never crack again. The lava is, however, lukewarm. So he goes to the Forge of the Giants. He seeks out the Flame of Ruin. He assists you in fighting the fire giant. Finds himself in Farum Azula. And here, he's standing there, arms crossed.
Yep.
And this is not the regular path to where you're going. This is a side path away.
Don't you have to use a sword stone key to get here?
I believe so, yeah. It is a different way, and Alexander requests a duel. He says, "Come and tell me when you're ready. I've been longing to fight a warrior as accomplished as you." He kind of knows that he watched you beat the fire giant.
He knows what he's signing up for. I think this is a lot more of him ready to be done with his quest than it is. It's also gassing you up because he's a homie too. And he's like, yo, you are super formidable and very good at fighting. I would love to challenge someone like you. In the back of his mind, he knows this is the end.
And he wants to go out like a badass, which probably he didn't expect to die in 2 hits from me. Super sorry, bro.
Did you hit him with that like cannon thing that you got on your one character?
No, I didn't use the Sword of Night and Flame. I just did like 2 dodge rolls back and just did like 2 meteors and it got him pretty quick. poor buddy. After the battle, he says, as I suspected, victory was impossible. This vessel was found lacking. But the great Alexander lived as a warrior to his last, and he laughs 4 times, and he fucking explodes everywhere.
I thought, because he has like his fist in the air as he's talking, I thought he was going to like crack his shell. Like I thought he was going to punch himself in the chest and explode.
Yeah.
But he just explodes. Both are pretty super metal.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like in Vikings when one of them's going to die and they know they're going to die and they're like desperately reaching for their axe so they can go to Valhalla because you have to die with your weapon in your hand.
Yeah.
It was like, kind of gave me like a parallel to that. He's like, yo, I've got this fucking warrior's death. Let's go.
I love it. If you died when we said, oh, I didn't expect that.
Oops.
Whoops.
I killed my friend.
I did prepare something for Alexander's final moments here.
Oh, geez.
I am the warrior jar known as Alexander. Iron Fist Alexander. And as you can see, I'm stuck here. Please, can you help me out of this? Just give me a good smack from the rear with something nice and big. I was created to be a warrior vessel. Many great warriors reside within me, ever dreaming of becoming a great champion. It's my destiny, and the reason for which I quest. It is my ordeal, you could say. To test myself, to better myself, to fell ever greater foes. I am nothing but a crock. One hit was all it took to crack me. I hid like a coward. I'm oilier than a toad. Yeah, there were countless oil jars back where I'm from, actually. And now I know what it's like to be one of them. Victory was impossible. My thanks. I knew you were the stuff of champions. It was a marvelous battle. I implore you, take what I bequeath from inside me. All vessels are destined to one day break. But the great Alexander lived as a warrior to his last.
That has legitimately made me sad.
What a good guy.
He is.
I'm oily. Oilier than a toad.
The first time you meet him, you're hitting him. Last time you see him, you're hitting him.
Give me a big smack on my bottom with something big and hard. Whoa there, buddy. Get buy me a drink first.
Yeah. Let's bring it down a notch, eh?
What a good voice performance. Very endearing, jovial, hearty laugh.
Yep.
Yep.
Badass to be laughing right before you die, too.
But surprise, we have taped Alexander back together for the remainder of Elden Dogs.
It's just temporary, guys.
We will smash him again. You can take the shard of Alexander, present it to his nephew Jarbairn in Jarburg.
I love that it's called Jarburg.
Jarburg. It's like, what do you call this city built on the stone? We'll call it Stone City.
Yeah. What's that really hard to get mineral in Avatar? Unobtainium?
What's that movie with the exorcisms? The Exorcist?
Yeah.
We were at 4th of July and family friend, she's like, what's that Sigourney Weaver movie with the aliens? I said, Alien? She said, no. The second one. I said, Aliens. She's like, that's it.
At least she knew which one.
Yeah. If you keep going past Alexander, you find the Ancient Dragon Apostles Cookbook to make Ancient Dragon Bolt pots. I know you like your pots.
Yep, big pothead.
But instead, we're going to take the Dragon Temple lift back where it's split. You can get the Dragon Crest Shield Talisman 2 there. So there's that Ancient Dragon who is fairly weak. And you can, like, take it out pretty quick. Behind there, you can drop down. You're going to go way down and then up some elevators, fight some Banished Knights. You will run into a horrible Crucible Knight.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun.
A real dickhead about it. Oh, actually, no. That's where you find. Yeah, that's where you find the. What is that? That's not where you find the armor. That's where you find the Bolt Drake Talisman +2 and the Dragon Tower Shield. It's not even that great.
The Dragon Tower Shield I was reading would be really good for my build.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to go fight some
I'm close to it.
motherfuckers over
See,
there.
I look things up now.
Yeah.
I'm above it at this point. Like, I've played enough.
No, look it up.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
a point
looking
where
shit
you
up.
should just look it up.
But I don't always look up, like, where things are. I just look up what I need, and I'm like, all right, I'll keep an eye out for that, because it still gives me a sense of exploration.
You should go to the Effects Your Life maps. That's where I do start my research for this stuff.
I have an app on my phone that has, like, everything in the game pinned on the map.
Yeah.
And it's a must-have now. I can't imagine playing the game without it.
Yeah.
I can look it up. I forget the name of the
I get
actual app.
the second part of the strategy guide in like 2 weeks, and I am jacked. Because the first half is like all NPCs and gameplay overview, and then, maps and locations. The second part, every single enemy gets like bios and stuff, and I
dope.
can't wait.
It's just called Elden Ring Map. This is the app that I use.
It's going to be tough to remember.
Yeah, but it's got
Yep.
everything. I'm showing Brad right now. There's pens everywhere. So you can search just about anything.
You love to see it.
I know. It is really helpful.
Right before there, though, you can also get the Drake Knight set. This is a separate spot where you drop down when the Hawks first start appearing. The Drake Knight, it's like a knight armor just like covered in like red dragon shit.
That's dope.
It's pretty fancy looking, and it features the spoils of a dragon catch as an emblem of pride as both dragon hunter and partaker of communion. From birth, Drake Knights speak not a word. They spend their lives pursuing the strength of dragons. Sounds like a tough life.
A lot of sign language.
Can you flick people off? That's it, though.
You can, but you have to do it like Dane Cook, where you have to put both of the fingers in the middle up, the super finger.
I will never do anything
That was
like
his
Dane
thing.
Cook. I will never do anything like that guy.
Do you hate him because he's popular or for the joke stealing?
He was only ever funny in Mystery Men when he was the waffler.
Oh, no. Employee of the Month is hilarious. This is an 81 Honda. How dare you? Even though that's Dax Shepard, but it's still a great movie.
I'll concede. But I'm not happy about it. Yes, if you keep heading past that dying dragon, there is an extremely missable major boss. Because if you're not looking to jump off the map again and looking for this little spot at the edge, which you won't be because beastmen are fucking you up, you'll miss it. There is, though, a spot. You go to the edge, you can jump down. You follow these little, like, hoppy steps down. And your character, thank God the Tarnish knows, because I wouldn't know to just lay down on the fucking ground and it just yeets you off into a storm somewhere.
What?
Dragon Lord Placidusax.
You have to jump down, and is it a cutscene?
And then, yeah, you get to a spot where you hit, like, triangle. It says, like, lie on the ground. And then your guy just lies on the ground. And you close your eyes, and then you wake up somewhere else.
That's ridiculous.
Yep. You're pulled into the strange tornado, possibly time or dimension travel to the heart of the storm. Now, where you go down versus where the battle for Dragon Lord Placidusax is different, I'm pretty sure that because the site of grace is in the center of the storm, but where you go isn't. So it yeets you over there. Placidusax, his two heads are positioned in a way similar to the two fingers reaching up for trying to get like a signal, trying to get a cell signal anywhere.
Like 1997, trying to get the Packers game on a bunny ear.
No, I don't know that one.
Yeah, that was my dad like moving the antennas, trying to pick up a Packer game in Arkansas.
That's tough.
Oh yeah, it'd be like a Monday night game though, so we could actually get it.
Placidusax has an unused model. The battle's happening. At one point, though, there's an unused model with one of the heads cut off, suggesting you might have cut off one of the heads during the battle.
Damn.
To take it down to one head, which just looks weird when you have he's like a hand with one finger looks a little weird, you know?
As long as it's the middle finger, you can get by with that.
You can. If it's just the pinky left, it's like...
You're fucked.
You're a little weird. Yeah. Placidusax mirroring the two fingers, also starting with 5. There has been some conversation recently in the community about, because Zuli the Witch, you're probably not as familiar, great YouTuber. They do...
Oh, I've seen a few of their videos.
Yeah, their videos are great, and they're all like...
So that's the guy that makes the super cinematic ones, right?
No, that's Vati.
Vati, okay.
Who just released a banger that I haven't watched yet. There's
I know, it's on my list.
An hour-long one from Ronnie the Witch yesterday. This cues in when we're recording here, folks. If you're a Patreon member, you're getting it like the day after, so that's good for you. But Zuli made a video about how some people theorize the 3 fingers for the Flame of Frenzy and the 2 fingers form a hand. And they posited that it doesn't match up. Those 2 fingers look like they are these 2 with the palm there, like the pointer and the middle finger. And the sizes discrepancies are all weird. And there's just been a lot of discussion about whether or not that makes sense. And to me, it's more like symbolic. I think that... everything started off as like a 5, like as a 1, and then it split off, and like it symbolizes a division in ideologies, in religious symbolism. It's I think that they can both be right, where physically they don't match up, but I like the concept of there being everything started as 1, and then the schism.
I fully subscribe to the 3 and 2 theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially after seeing the cutscene. Like, it just kind of... I think it matches up. And it, like you said, the separation of the schism just makes sense. Everything starting as one, and then kind of breaking apart and falling apart as time goes on.
And there are 7 sets of 2 fingers, but I think that they're all representative of the 2 fingers. That's just kind of the form they take. I mean, we don't even know where those fingers came from, really. They just showed up someday.
It's also weird that, I mean, if you're describing this game to somebody who's not played it at all, and you're like, yeah, you kind of taking orders from some fingers.
Some hairy wigglers.
Like, it sounds like a creepypasta. On the surface, this game really does.
So I went underneath the city, and then all these merchants that were wrongly persecuted were, like, dead, but some of them were still playing music, and they were all mad.
And then I died 47 times trying to jump down this fucking shaft.
And then I fed this girl a grape, but it was an eyeball. Whoa!
And then I took my clothes off, and I got hugged by a thumb and an index finger and a middle finger.
It's hot.
Yeah, it burnt my skin.
It was very. I mean, it was hot. Like, it was very the temperature. Plus, it was hot. Yeah, this whole game is kind of a creepypasta.
It is.
Even Alexander.
I mean, just the fucking beastmen. No, the godskin apostle is a creepypasta. That dude, his physics don't work for him.
And I mean, they're wearing the skin of slain gods.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy metal.
Yeah, but it looks like Jeffrey Dahmer's apparel, you know? And now from the Ed Gein collection, we have the Godskin Apostle duo. This one's wearing his mother.
That is an actual nipple belt, folks.
Made from 35 god nipples. You see, he grafts it on a little wiener on the side there, too.
The attention to detail.
The attention to detail is amazing. Yes, you kill Placidusax in the most epic arena in the game, possibly. It's like the Colosseum in a lightning storm. You get the Remembrance of the Dragon Lord. You can get the Dragon King's Craig Blade, a heavy... I think I just showed my Wisconsin. Craig or Crag?
Craig.
I was showing my Wisconsin the Craig Blade. Heavy thrusting sword, and it has a unique skill of the Thundercloud form where you transform into a red thundercloud like Alucard, fly through the air, and then plunge down with a lightning-infused blade. Placidusax's Ruin, incantation that transforms you into the Dragon Lord to spew golden breath from above. Can be cast while jumping.
Some call it golden breath. Some people call it vomit. I mean, it's really... Were you drinking Goldschlick vodka with the gold flakes in it, or were you drinking High Life?
Either way, you don't want to be in front.
No, it's going to hurt. That's a lot of damage.
You don't want no part of that shit. And the crazy thing is, Placidusax is completely 100% optional. I bet people that weren't using guides, 70% of them missed this.
But this game is notorious for, like, how much time have you wasted inspecting an area for an option to jump off? Like the Weeping Peninsula, I think I did a full lap around the edge of that map. I mean, discounting the beach, obviously, because there's nothing there.
And I walked around the beach too.
Yeah, I just killed all the dead guys for runes.
It's interesting the way those guys just walk back and forth. It's like, what are you trying to go to?
Yeah.
They missed the boat.
I've spent a lot of time looking for, like, jump off points, and it's always frustrating when you think you find one. Weeping Peninsula has one that, like, either I didn't go far enough and I missed something,
yeah,
or it was just designed to fuck with me.
That's when online mode does serve a purpose, because there'll be messages up at certain cliffs, and you'll walk up there, and it says...
Wait, do you play in offline?
It depends on whether or not my PlayStation or Xbox wants to cooperate.
Oh, I'm always in online mode.
I'm preferably always in online. Sometimes, like, it doesn't go on my internet for one reason or another, and I said, fine, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yep, I prefer online, but I also use the code, because if you enter the multiplayer code, even if you're not doing multiplayer, the messages are from people of certain communities, so you can be on, like, messages from...
Like legit communities and not people who are just saying finger butthole?
Yep. Well, they still say it, but it's from a legit community.
Yeah.
It's legit fingers and buttholes. Yeah. But Placidusax, completely optional. You get to the Beside the Great Bridge site of Grace, where you find the Somberstone Miner's bell bearing, and you get invaded by recusant Bernahl. Bernahl...
The guy that taught us Ashes of War.
Yes, and was a friend at Volcano Manor the last time we talked to him there.
What a shiesty motherfucker. Why is he invading?
Well, he says, like, he's like, first he's like, oh, you killed Rykard. Hey, that's the fucking breaks, I guess. That's cool, whatever. And he says, oh, greater will, hear my voice. I am the recusant Bernahl, inheritor of my brother's will, and you will fall to my blade. We refuse to become your pawns. Consider this fair warning. His armor, the Beast Champion set, says, beasts are drawn to champions and to lords, and this armor befits a champion worthy of becoming a lord, and that is what Bernahl was until his maiden threw herself into the fire. He got up to the forge.
Shit.
He got up to the forge before us.
I forgot, yeah. You said that we had another character that made it up there besides Vike.
I think there was something wrong with his maiden, or maybe it would be really shiesty if the only maiden that could succeed was Melina, who has also just said, like, I'm not supposed to be serving as a maiden. She said before, she's like, this kind of bending the rules. Did he Spartan kick her into the fire? Like, his maiden died and nothing happened, and that pissed him off.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. So he's pretty upset, and
rightfully so.
And yeah,
you just got, like, this is Elden Ring's version of a catfish. Like, you thought you were going to go have beautiful dinner with, you thought you were going to go have dinner with a beautiful woman at a Chili's. It turns out it's a 45-year-old dude who's balding.
And then the service was bad.
Yes. And he's like, oh, this is really awkward, but, like, I'm not actually Vanessa. I'm not speaking from personal experience.
Hi, I'm Vanessa.
No, this is the Elden Ring version of a catfish. She pretended to be a maiden so that she could get up there.
I don't think she pretended either. She probably wholeheartedly believed, but something didn't work. I don't think she catfished him, because you get a maiden as a tarnished. I think that Marika didn't want it to work that way. Maybe Marika wanted Melina to be the one to do it. Maybe there's a certain process that didn't happen. Whatever happened, she went in the fire and it didn't work.
That's just a big bummer.
And that seems like it must have happened before he before he went to Volcano Manor. I think he went up there and she went in the fire. And he's like, "What the fuck?" And he went down.
And that's when we meet him, like, west of Limgrave.
Maybe, yeah. We don't know all the answers, but it says until his maiden threw herself into the fire. You defeat him here. He's also carrying the tool, the Blasphemous Claw, which informs a lot of lore here. It's a slab of rock engraved with traces of the Rune of Death. This can deflect the power of Malekith. It's kind of like a parry for one boss fight, but it says, on the night of the dire plot of the Black Knives, Ranni rewarded Praetor Rykard with these traces. So Ranni at least told Rykard, like, yo, I'm about to go in there and this is happening. Should the coming trespass one day transpire, this would serve as a last resort foil. She gave Rykard this ability to help fight Malekith if everything else failed. So Ranni and Rykard were working together, and Rykard passed, so Bernahl's up there using this to go fight Malekith. Bernahl at this point is on a mission to kill God. We're on a mission to kill God. It's like, this is one of these things, like, Bernahl, if you talked with me, we could have fought Malekith together, bro.
Yeah, like, we align.
We could work this out.
We're working for the same goal here, man.
I wish there was just one button, like, talk it out.
Yeah.
I'd hit the talk it out button every time. He also drops the Devourer's Scepter, which is a great hammer. It's a scepter in the shape of a serpent devouring the world. This weapon will one day become the very symbol of the Lord of Blasphemy, one of the legendary armaments.
It's not anything like that serpent blade that gives you HP back on hits, right?
No, it's just symbolic of Rykard letting a snake eat him. There's some things, like, I get it. Your religion rationalized something. Just say, oh yeah, everyone come in my room quick.
Check this out.
The snake's gonna eat me. I've seen Anaconda. I don't want anyone to get eaten by a snake.
I saw Angelina Jolie's dad die in that movie, and it was not pleasant.
What's his name? I was just thinking.
It'll come back to me in a second.
J-Lo and Ice Cube survived, so that's good.
It's never going to come back. I've lost it.
Nope. And it has a unique skill, Devourer of Worlds, where it charges the scepter with magic and strikes it against the ground to steal HP of all nearby enemies. So that's pretty cool.
Damn. Oh, wait, it steals HP?
Yep, when you use the skill.
Oh, so it is the serpent blade that you get when you're going up to the Altus Plateau. If you take the long way,
Yeah.
it gives you HP back on hit.
Okay.
And it's also related to the serpent. So that's weird that they did that twice. Serpents give you HP back.
So repetitive. This game sucks.
I know.
Also behind Bernahl, you'll find the Old Lord's Talisman, which extends durations of all spells by 30%. Pretty dope.
John Voight.
Hey!
John Voight.
Dude gets eaten.
Yeah.
And then he gets spit back out later.
Yeah, that's the gross part.
And he's still alive.
I can't believe I just pulled that out. It's because George Costanza buys John Voight's car in Seinfeld, and I just watched that episode.
Have you seen the YouTube video of Puss in Boots in Elden Ring?
No.
It's pretty good. There's also Monty Python and the Holy Grail in Elden Ring now, too.
I did watch a guy, he beat the game as quick as possible with each starting class. But his character design was Sonic every time.
Horrible. Horrifying. Gets the goat roll technique?
He should, yeah. No, but Samurai won, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah, you have a great... He doesn't change your starting weapon or anything. It's just like base. You can level up, but you can't change gear.
I come from the rare school of gaming that believes Sonic doesn't need to be in every video game. I know
That's a hot take.
I'm only one, but... and if it wasn't bad enough that you fought Ancient Dragons, Godskin Apostles, Banished Knights, Beastmen, Placiduous Sacks, Crucible Knights, as you fought Bernahl, you fight all these things. Also, there's a Draconic Tree Sentinel at the front door of the final battle.
Because you know what? Why not?
They're like, fuck them. You know what? Fuck them. After the great ancient dragon Grandsax attacked, the Sentinels had an epiphany, the Draconic Tree Sentinels. They had to become dragons themselves. They give you the armor of the malformed dragon set. If you don't defeat it, you will go into the battle, and if you summon a Spear Dash, it will be trying to fight
Really?
the Draconic Tree Sentinel and waste everyone's time. You'll want to kill the Sentinel. Yeah. It fucked me up. But we are now here at the final battle of the episode. We're here at Malekith, the Black Blade.
Yep. We have just killed Kevin Durant. We are ready to go.
We're going straight Muggsy Bogues on their ass.
Oh, damn. Nice.
He was the little guy in Space Jam.
Damn. That was a deep pull.
Thank you. Malekith, the Black Blade, is the loyal shadow. The first name, Shadowbound Beast. Half-brother to Queen Marika the Eternal. Not through sex.
Through marriage.
Not through marriage. Oh, maybe. No, not through marriage. I guess. I don't know. If it was Sarash's brother and Sarash got grafted to her husband.
That's not marriage. Through grafting.
I don't know how marriage to brother in grafting.
Yeah.
Half brother in grafting.
Brother and graft.
Brother in graft. Marika had Malekith, her loyal dog. She fucked her homie up. Lock away Destined Death, which was stored in his sword after the defeat of the Glowmide Queen, which sounds like a whole prequel series directed by Peter Jackson. They're going to stretch it out, though. It'll be 3 games. The tradition of getting a Shadowbound Beast could go back to Farum Azula. We talked about this before, where, even Godfrey, the first Elden Lord, the axe that he wields it looks like it was made by the beastmen. So the Shadowbound Beast seems to be going back to them. There was not one demigod who did not fear Malekith, because when Destined Death was sealed away into the sword, he had the one thing that could kill demigods, so everybody feared him.
It's like the kid at play school, like in recess, who owned the ball. So if he just wanted to take his ball and go home, we all lived in fear of that kid. We had to appease him.
One kid owned Mortal Kombat 3.
Yeah. We wanted to play kickball for as long as possible, and Matt owned the ball. So
no, Matt was safe. He was safe. It's
yeah,
okay.
He's good. No, I saw it. He made it.
Okay, Matt, you're good. Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
Game on.
I didn't catch that. It hit the ground first. Yeah, a lot of that.
Every time. Everyone feared him. He also led the Black Blade Kindred, the living gargoyles with the weapons made of corpse wax. We talked about them earlier. The Night of Black Knives happened. Malekith had Destined stolen away from him. He feels horrible. And so he changed his name to Garunk and moved to Idaho. He began seeking and eating Deathroot to try and stifle its spread, the one thing he can try and do to redeem himself. He feels like it's his fault when really America, I'm going to say it, America was involved in orchestrating the whole thing. We'll get to it in a second why I believe that's the case, but he's been trying to correct a mistake that wasn't his fault since before the Shattering. Super tragic. Garunk gives the Tarnished a Beast Eye, the claw mark Stone Eye that trembles when you're near Deathroot. You go on that whole quest. And if you have brought him all of the Deathroot, he will recognize you in this battle. So it's weird how Garunk and Malekith can also be in the same spot and one can die before the other. Because you can kill Garunk and Malekith's still up there. Timey-wimey, fucking video games, whatever. The phase 1 is the Beast Clergyman before he removes his robe and he's wearing a thong. No, that was bad. Sorry, that was different notes. He reveals Malekith the Black Blade. He's got like the black armor, which I think looks a little too edgelord wonky, but it's cool. Whatever. You can use that.
He was really into Bullet for my Valentine in high school.
Yeah, the haircut will not age well.
It's not a phase though. It's not a phase, Mom.
Yeah, tattoos are forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't have to tell me twice.
In phase 2, he unbinds the Rune of Death from him so you can see it on his hand, and he reveals his true identity. His dying breath cries out to America for forgiveness. Even as he's going out, he's begging for someone to like forgive him.
I mean, he did play a big part in kind of fucking everything up, but like I feel a little bit sad for him.
I mean, it wasn't his fault that it was stolen away from him. If Kevin McAllister's dad paid the Wet Bandits to go in and steal from his own house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Kevin's fault then. It's not Malekith's fault that somebody paid Ronnie to go in and fuck it up.
You should have set better traps. More paint cans on more strings.
And Kevin's out there trying to eat all of the Wet Bandit root out there in the world.
Which is just like soggy bandanas and socks.
It's just drinking a lot of water in these houses that's overflowing around Christmas time. And it's not Kevin's fault. If the dad, that was a cut storyline from the original Home Alone, was that the dad had paid them for like insurance purposes to rob the house.
That would have got so convoluted.
It didn't need to be.
Have you seen the house? And they can pay for how many people to get on that flight? Like they have money.
If you want to talk to Laura Home Alone, they're not paying for that trip in the first film. It's the McAllister's family in France is paying for everyone to go there. So they're the rich ones.
Damn.
Yeah. They pay for the trip down to Florida in Home Alone 2, though.
Is that where they go in 2?
I think
when he's stuck in New York?
I believe it's Florida. Because it would be tougher to go international flights and miss that.
Yeah.
Because it's where Frank had his honeymoon. And he's like, it looked better on our honeymoon.
Yeah, that's true.
But yes, you defeat Malekith. The Rune of Death is unbound and enshrouds the lands between. This allows the impenetrable thorns to finally burn away. The remembrance of the Black Blade, it says he was a shadowbound beast given to his Empyrean, America. America's sole need of her shadow was a vessel to lock away Destined Death. Even then, she betrayed him. So, those 5 words seals the deal in my eyes. America was definitely involved.
Yeah.
She betrayed him. I think it got out of hand. I think she was super pissed when they killed Godfrey. She probably was hoping they'd kill like a Godric or someone.
Yeah.
It's like, we have Godrics and Morgoths. We're lousy with Mogs. And you go for...
You kill the starting fucking quarterback.
You killed the starting quarterback. Now, Godfrey, everyone loves him. He's beautiful. Him and Mikkel are best friends. And you kill him? So I think America expected one thing to happen. It might have gotten out of control. But I do believe she was involved. And that's also why she's hung up to dry.
Yeah.
What I was getting really weirded about, I was thinking the other day, because Ratigan is, of course, America. Man and woman, one being, separate beings. But when you get to the final boss, America's body drops down and then Ratigan gets up. And I'm like, but Ratigan also went and moved to Liurnia and had a wife and kids, but America was somewhere else. It's just weird to me, like starfish, they were cut in half and then they can just
meld right back together.
I just said Rachel back together. It's an Animorphs reference that a lot of people won't get. But I say, how do they split up and just go have separate lives and come back together? But they do. The Remembrance, you can get Malekith's Black Blade, which once harbored the power of the Rune of Death, a sad shadow of his former glory. It is the unique skill of Destined Death. Set free the remnants, plunging the greatsword into the ground to summon a myriad of blades. In addition to dealing immediate damage, reduces enemies' maximum HP and wears it down for a short time. And the other option, the Incantation Black Blade, where the caster creates an illusory black blade, then leaps forward to deliver a spinning slash that emits a wave of light that can be followed up with one additional attack. This blade was once imbued with Destined Death. Destined Death is back on the world. And so my brain is also like, all right, so why can we still die? Or why can we still die and come back to life if Destined Death is out there? We still have... We'll talk about this in the next episode. But... Or the next... when we talk about the Ashton capital, we will discuss it because we had a very sad farewell today for Alexander. We're going to have a less sad farewell for Gideon.
I did run into that spoiler.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was going to be a thing.
Yes, because, spoiler warning, Tyler hasn't beaten the game once yet.
No. I did slow down as we caught up to Elden Dogs, and I'm kind of playing along with it, which has been nice because it's kept my intrigue of the game going, and it allows me to play other games like on side still, because we've played a lot of games since then.
I'm so sick of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I love it, but 100 hours is excessive.
I did play a lot of PGA 2K23, the free game of the month.
They should add more letters to that title.
I know, it's not a mouthful enough.
2K23 LOL edition, where it's all big heads and fat models.
It's a lot of fun, though.
And Spider-Man.
Everything needs more. No, there's not a Spider-Man in the game. I'm sorry.
Before you fight Malekith, if you just fair warning, heads up, there are a lot of items that are completely missable that the capital's model, like the whole city, will be completely changed. So there's a large number of weapons, items, talismans, all these things that if you don't get them before it burns, you can no longer get them until you do New Game Plus. So before burning, go to Lanedale, get the Coated Sword, Bolt of Grandsax. You might be able to get that one, the other one. Lionel's Armor, Deathbed Dress, All-Brick Set, Barrier of Gold, Gravelstone Seal, Imp Head Corpse, Omen Smirk Mask, Raging Wolf Set, Sanctified, Wet Blade, Cracked Pot, Ritual Pots, Perfume Bottles. Talk to Gideon as much as possible to make sure you get all of the incantations, because after it burns, he is gone from the Round Table Hold. If you access Farum Azula before finishing up the Brother Corrin Gold Mask quest, you can lock yourself out of some of that. So just do a little due diligence if there's anything that you want to get before you burn it all down. Otherwise, though, that's Farum Azula.
Did you know that there was cut content that once you burn it all down, the song "Give Me Something to Break" by Limp Bizkit was going to play?
And fake credits.
Yep.
Dude.
Yep. I was going to say directed by Fred Durst.
I would have stood up and applauded.
That's a ballsy move.
Yeah. I wouldn't have seen it coming.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah. It would have been bad.
To be honest, it would have been a horrible idea.
New metal and Elden Ring just doesn't mix, unfortunately.
So I do have this horrible idea in my head. And I think the humor is so thin that if you don't get it, it will be the cringiest, worst video ever. So back in the day, I used to watch a lot of Halo videos, like highlight clips, and people would always put like Stained and Disturbed music to it.
Naturally.
And it was pretty cringy. And so that song, Seeing Red Again.
Oh, yeah, by Red.
Then, yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called?
I don't know the name of that song, but
Seeing Red Again.
I believe it's by the band Red.
Well, my thought was I'm going to make a Radigan, like,
Seeing Red Again.
and it would be like Radigan attacks, just like cut to the music. And there'd be like freeze frames where like the image spins and like goes like distorted in red or like zooms in.
That would be great.
And it would just be like how Radigan is the ultimate like hero in my eyes. And I'm like, I think 10% of people might think it's hilarious, and everyone else would be like, this kid is the dumbest guy ever. And I'm like, no, trust me, this is really funny.
But you should definitely do that.
Seeing Radigan.
Seeing Radigan. I like that.
Yeah.
That song, that song was so dope when I was in high school.
It still is dope.
I haven't listened to it in probably like 10 years because I don't listen to the radio.
I listen to it often. Elden Dogs exist because of people like you, so thanks for listening. If you have any questions or thoughts about this episode or anything at all, you can reach out to us on Instagram at Hair the Dogcast or on Twitter at X at HotDogcast, because it's not Twitter anymore, it's X.
Is that official?
Dude, you are out of the loop.
I haven't had a Twitter account in a minute.
We're on Threads. We're on Blue Sky. I don't do much of them. You can email us if you want. Please write a rating and review if you've gotten this far. It takes 10 seconds. It helps us out a lot. And if you want access to these episodes way in advance, if you want access to bonus episodes or after show, we have tons of episodes of Popcorn Dogs, our movie and TV shows. We have a lot in there. Castlevania Symphony of the Night episode, part 2 of Final Fantasy IX, tons of stuff. Join us on patreon.com/hairthedogcast. Thanks to executive producers Festering Fingerprint Phil, Jordan Hoslow, Sorceress of Blood, Blackguard Big Brian, Malekith the Black Blade, and Rykard Kristinek. And Elden Dogs, I want 25 to be the episode where we discuss the endings. And I think that'll be its own episode. So we have one more episode where we want to discuss the Ashen Capital.
We talked about a multiplayer or PvP episode.
There will be a multiplayer, and I think it'll be / speedrunning episode.
Yeah, that's a good move.
And so we need one other episode to do before endings. I was considering a couple of options. Maybe I'll do a poll on Discord. I was thinking like Magic Explained episode where it describes the histories of incantations and sorceries and kind of lumps it all together, plus a big sell and love fest. Maybe I was thinking like a Great Gamers in History, where it could be Miyazaki plus George R.R. Martin, where it discusses those two creators and how it reflects in the world.
I like that because then we could really get into like the influence that was felt. Dylan would have to be in on that episode though, seeing like the differences in From Software games before George R.R. Martin versus after, I think would be really interesting. And
yeah, I've read probably 2/3 of Martin's work, so I'd have a decent amount to say just on him. And I think his approach, that was an option. Yeah, there's going to be after 25, I want to do an endgame guide where we can discuss Deathrite Birds and armors and drop rates. We're getting to the end, though. I mean, we have one more place to go into geography-wise to look at. Otherwise, we've done the entire map.
Yeah. And this was 21?
This is 21.
Holy shit.
Yep. Elden Dogs is great. It is. I've loved every second of it.
Yes, I love long-form podcasts, and this is my first time doing one. And this is long form. This is not just, a 2-3 parter or something like that.
Yeah. I mean,
and it's going to come back once the DLC comes.
We will definitely do, depending on the scope of the DLC, 3 to 5 episodes probably. And then afterwards, I was like, do we just do like a 2-part overview of all the history there? I mean, if we wanted to, we can do Elden Dogs for a while, and I want to. And then I was thinking, do we do a made-for-TV Disney original series where we review all of those movies? Do we do a Twin Peaks series where we just do like a Twin Peaks watch-along? Do we do One Piece? Do we do Berserk? Do we do...
Twin Peaks would be a nice...
It'd be kind of fun.
That would be a Firewalk with me. Yeah, that would be really fucking dope.
Yeah. I was looking at Rykard Christianek's image on the Discord the other day, and it's the main character drinking coffee. I was like, I want to watch Twin Peaks again. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Plus, one of my favorite bands, Tiger's Jaw, is a big that's a big influence on their music.
Okay. Are they in the new series?
No.
It's a bummer.
Yeah, they should have been. It would have been awesome. But
I didn't finish the new series.
they have a bunch of lyrics that pertain to Twin Peaks, and they reference it a whole bunch.
Yeah. But we're going to be doing the Ashton Capital, and then I want to do like a multiplayer / speedrunning episode.
Speedrunning would be cool because when we were at GDQ, we did see... Did you stay up for it that night?
Yeah. We watched some of it. Then we went to a party.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. We did go to the party that night.
It's Elden Ring is one of those games that's so hard to speedrun though, because what they're doing is breaking the game and glitching the game, and you're opening the game to break down.
Yeah.
All of that being said, thanks for listening. We love you guys. I think up next we will do the Ashton Capital, and then we're gonna do a couple of side episodes before we get to the endings, and then we'll go from there. But yeah. Farum Azula in the books.
Yeah. You know what? No farms. I didn't see a single cattle. No cornfields, nothing.
Dragons can fly to get food.
A little bit of a misnomer with the name. They should have called it something more metal.
It's not Farum Azula.
That's how I say it, though.
Welcome to Farum Azula.
Farum Azula. You try that in a small pan.
Yeah. Try that on a small Azula. Dark Bernahl. All right, we'll see you later.